Greetings and welcome to Stroke by Stroke. Today I want to do just a very quick tutorial. It's going to be wet on wet, and it's going to be like a abstract landscape. So I'm doing this for emotional regulation today because I haven't talked about this before, but I feel that maybe it's time. I struggle with substance abuse, particularly alcohol, and I had a big relapse on Sunday. This is now Wednesday, and I am working with my therapist on it, and I am being radically honest as well about everything. So I'm having a lot of feelings, a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, a lot of disappointment in myself, because I thought I could do harm reduction. I deal with chronic pain on a almost daily basis, and unfortunately alcohol is one of those things that makes me not care about the pain. And I thought I could have alcohol medicinally, and that I would be okay with just like a shot or two, and I was, until I wasn't. And so recently, Sunday, for some reason, I have some thoughts about why. I started drinking and I couldn't stop. So there we are. And I am trying to be gentle with myself as much as possible, but that's a difficult thing. I was a functional alcoholic for quite a while, I have discovered that I cannot, unfortunately, stop if I start. So there we are. I'm using my M-Gram paints, and I am just sitting in some color here. And now I'm going to switch over here to one of my browns. And I'm using my swatches that I made in the last session. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I want to use this color. Yeah, there we go. Just gonna bring in some color like that, and and as I'm sure you can hear in the background, Walter, my furnace, is alive and well, thank God. It's supposed to get very cold in the next couple days, and they're trying to decide whether or not there's going to be significant snow where I am. It's possible. So, yeah. Alright, and the colors I've been using, by the way, are my ultramarine blue M-Gram watercolor and transparent yellow iron oxide. Those are those two colors. And I'm just laying in swaths of color. And I'm just going to bring this down. And I'm going to go back to the blue. And I'm going back and forth between a 12 round brush and a 12 filbert brush. And I am using my cellulose watercolor paper. So, yeah. And so this is all just going to be very, very loose. And as always in my world here, I am painting for process more than the product. I find this to be very regulating, emotionally regulating, and yeah. So I'm gonna put in a little bit more water over here, because I really want a nice gradation. And I've taped just one side of the paper, and that's really just to keep it from rolling around. I know that this paper is going to crinkle quite a bit, so I'm just letting it do its thing. And yeah, and I am on my flat table as opposed to the art table I use, the drafting table that is at a permanent about 45-degree angle. So this one is flat, and obviously not perfectly flat because it's all going up here toward the top. But yeah, you know, it's all right. And so I've been practicing a lot of mindful breathing. One thing I find to be very helpful in terms of regulation of emotion is it's called box breathing. And I can't talk and do it, but box breathing is when I inhale for a count of 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I hold it for 2, 3, 4. And then I exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold it 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. And doing that for, I don't know, 2 to 3 minutes, I find to be very helpful in regulating my breath, because my body seems to understand that if I can breathe like that, I must not be in danger, and it helps the central nervous system to calm down. So, and then just deep breathing just in and then through the nose and then out through the mouth, like I'm blowing up a balloon. So it's, and oftentimes I will do it so that my exhale is twice as long as my inhale. Those are just a couple little breathing things I do when I start feeling out of whack. Especially now that I am not letting myself run away, because that was very much what alcohol is for me. It is a way of running away from the icky feelings. In my case, pretty much any feelings. I do have a big tendency to run. So, and when I say run, I mean emotionally running. So, yeah. And I'm just doing this kind of line, the back and forth, up and down, because I find that to be very, very regulating. And, yeah, painting, when I would normally run away from the emotions, the painting can be a way of running, but it's a heck of a lot healthier than drinking. And admitting publicly to my friends and the world now that I have a problem with alcohol. I could hide. I could choose not to explore it or talk about it. And for me, doing that is how I ended up in a toxic relationship, in a domestic violence situation, because I wouldn't share about that. I kept hiding it. And I was like, oh, it'll get better, it'll get better. That's what I was telling myself. I was telling myself the same thing about drinking. And none of that works. So, yeah. And I still have the trauma that I was trying to run away from. And I have addiction. So, yeah, not the brightest of my choices in the world. And dealing with being gentle with myself in such a huge shame spiral that really does want to be there. But honestly, I don't have time for that. Yes, it's happening. And yes, I am working on it. And yeah, it's going to be a work in progress for the rest of my life. I'm aware of this now. I can't wish it away. I can't make deals with it. So yeah, it's time to face the fact that, yeah, my life fell apart. I went back into my unhealthy coping skills, and it's up to me whether I want to stay there or not. And I choose not to stay there. And the only way, oftentimes, of dealing with trauma is just going through. So I am currently in the process of going through my trauma and dealing with all the stuff that I'm trying to hide. Because hiding just doesn't work. And I am butchering this painting, but it's okay. I feel better doing this. And this is a healthy coping skill. So, there I am. It's also very, very windy where I am right now. So you can probably hear my wind chimes tinkling away in the background here. So I just put in some rust oxide. Or is that what it's called? No. Quinacridone rust, which I love. And then I'm going back here to the yellow iron oxide. And yeah. And I think there's something in doing this up and down motion and a side by side, horizontal motion that is very attractive to me at the moment. And I'm also using the ultramarine blue and the phthalocyanine blue-red shade. Is that right? Or is this? I don't remember. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay. Had myself all confused there for a second. See, and I think varying my line as I'm doing this is also a pretty interesting thing to do. Letting the line be skinny or fat, because that's the beauty of this kind of a brush, is I can get all of those kinds of lines from one brush, and I'm all about simplicity right now. Maybe not always. Okay, now I'm going to come back in here to, this is the ultramarine blue again. And this goes very differently on the page. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna bring in some olive green. That kind of fits with the sort of blue yellowish aspect. Sort of bring in a little bit of green here, but a very brown, yellowy green. Because I'm enjoying the contrast of this, of these colors together. So, okay. Well, thank you for joining me today. And about my stroke, it's pretty interesting because when I get upset, my aphasia, it has a field day, but doing the art actually oftentimes will settle my aphasia. And so it's easier for me to talk when I do the art. And that is just absolutely fascinating to me. I said I was going to finish the painting there, but I want one more thing. There we go. That makes me happier. All right. So there is a process painting that, yeah, just did some different things with it, but that contrast in the colors and in the way the lines are, some vertical and horizontal. Yeah, I think that was a smart thing for me to do today. So I'm going to do a slow pan around the picture and call this video done. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. And I will be back in the next episode of Stroke by Stroke. In the meantime, remember, do what makes you happy, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.